Hey, Bravehearts, I got something special for you. It wasn't planned, but this one a day is bees, honey, and longevity. Now, let me tell you something. I have life-changing, life-saving news, okay? Remember when they told us that the bees are going to die, and when they die, it's the end of the world? Remember when people also said that if you got the V, you might as well kiss your butt goodbye? Well, we've proven that if you got the V, you don't have to kiss your butt goodbye. We prove that at our clinic all the time. Well, Brent, okay, is going to prove to you that not only, okay, can we have the bees healthy, but we can help them multiply like nothing before. I mean, before there was a problem, okay, with 2G, 3G, 4G, all these frequencies. Well, even though we have these frequencies happening, okay, Brent's able to override it all, and he's going to explain why. But first, Brent, what did you do before you found out not just how to save the bees, but how to make the most highest frequency honey on the planet for healing?
Well, okay, that's a great question. I'm really from a background from the banking system back into the 80s and 90s. We started a company called Tangerine. And we were in the days.
Oh, I remember Tangerine.
Remembers it.
Yeah. Well, we did in the early days with credit and debit, and we ended up building.
Were you actually good guys?
Well, we were the ones that developed a lot of the algorithms.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
I see.
And this
okay.
is actually important to say because it's the algorithms that I was interested in, how we
Right.
did. And so anyway, that became fairly successful, and we went public and sold. But my real passion was in the frequencies and the algorithms, and money is part of that. So when that happened in 2008, when the country was melting down, we were the opposite. We were soaring, getting paid out by Goldman Sachs, and I then could go full into what I wanted to do, which was researching how frequencies could help not only the human body, but then into the insect world and bees and animals. And so I started,
because if they're dying, we will eventually go too.
Well, and that was my concern, because my thing is that, hey, I was getting older in my later part of the years, and I wanted to give something back. As to life was pretty good to me, and I enjoyed what I was doing, but not nearly like what I'm doing now. So it was about 2009, 2010. I started really going down the path of frequency medicine and Biophysics, and then sacred geometry was huge for me.
Now, do you guys know about sacred geometry, Fibonacci? The flower of life.
Platonic solids, which is
yeah.
So what that is that I would work with the natural geometric shapes of the world that work in changing frequencies to get results that we're looking for, right? So
because everything is math.
Exactly, everything is math, but it can be used in such a great way. So then I started to learn about magnets and earth magnets and earth frequencies, and what the difference was for our bodies to have natural frequencies versus the 5G, 4G, this kind of thing.
Right.
So then I started to say, well, okay, and I started to work with magnets, and then I put them into geometric shapes and started to look at developing results from that. And I started with humans.
Can I break in?
Yeah, sure.
You're going to have to hang in here because this is amazing, okay? Remember the bees thing? I'm going to say it again. Here's your answer, okay? We can populate bees everywhere around the world right now. And guess what? So, when the psychos are trying to use negative frequencies to scare us, well, guess what? We can use the same thing they did. We can use it for good and not for bad.
Yep.
Go ahead, my friend.
Absolutely. Well said. So then what I did is, once I developed the right magnets and the right shape of how I got them to work in a sequence that I was looking for, I started to play around with it, and then I started to go to beekeepers, and we started to test out with small beekeepers. We put our geodesic disc in one hive versus not in the other hive, and the results were phenomenal. What it was doing was building the immune system of the bees, no matter what they were exposed to.
It was protecting the bees, no matter if there was 3G, 4G, 5G around, if they were in the city, if there was smog. You have to understand something. The invisible will always trump the physical.
Yes.
The invisible creates the physical.
Yes.
And remember, we talked about that earlier today with Dr. Marcel Wolf of vibration, light, and just getting it right, okay?
Exactly. And so what I did is I got beekeepers to start trusting me because to really save or protect bees, you really have to protect the beekeepers. They control 95% of all bees.
Yeah.
So I had to get their trust going in there, and what we would do is have them going to the same food sources, but some would have cells in them, some wouldn't. And the result.
What does that mean? Oh, cells.
Cells. This would be here. I'm going to show up.
This is cell.
This is the cell that we
this
put in
is
the
the
hive.
thing.
Yeah, this is it. Now, so because you can't see anything here, inside of this is what looks like this. This is the frequency that's actually, well, let's see there.
Well, no, inside it doesn't look like that.
No, it doesn't look like this. This is what it produces. I'm trying to get that where they can see it.
I'll do it. But listen, you got to get this. So inside it looks like a shape of the flower of life.
Yes,
right?
it's magnetics in the form of a flower of life. Yes.
Go take a look and just put flower of life in your computer. If you've never seen it before, you better wrap your head around this, because guess what? These so-called psychos, you know what? They use that type of energy against us. We can use it to heal ourselves.
Absolutely.
So inside of this, these magnets will make the shape of the flower of life. Now, when the magnets are put together to make the shape of the flower of life, this is not the shape I'm going to show you. This is the energy
that it produces.
That it's producing. Take a look at this, everyone.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Okay, you got that? All right. Okay. So understand something. The energy that this gives off, Brent's going to explain to you, but let's take it a step at a time.
Sure.
We're going to be on here for a bit, because wait till you hear this stuff. It's like, wow. Okay, let me just put it this way. For those you don't understand magnetics, there's no such thing as gravity. Just like we've been on the moon, I call BS. And there's no such thing as gravity, okay? When you are on a roof and you jump off, gravity is pulling you. Gravity's not making you come down. It's magnetics.
Right.
Human beings are magnetized to the earth, and that's why you don't wear shoes unless you have to. And understand that all shoes are made out of petroleum now, not rubber. Okay. So again, the Rockefellers has put their dirty work in there. But go ahead, Brent.
Yes, absolutely. So what we wanted to do is that we had to put use just like what we were talking about here. We made this algorithm. These magnets want to come together in a way that they'll snap together. But we don't allow them to do it. We allow them to come in a way that we get the algorithm that I want that will produce the cells in the bees building up. And
so
it works like
they
crazy.
Come together in a way that they push out.
Yes.
So if you have a design of magnets of the flower of life, then you need to understand something. If in layman's terms, which when it comes to this stuff, that's all I am. So just know that it is pushing out life and not allowing death into the area. So nobody's touching our bees.
Exactly. It puts a protective environment, and then allows them to do what they do best because they aren't interfered with, right? And what's happened is we were able then to produce from these beehives the most amazing honey that we call energized honey. I think if we can get a jar of it, we'll show you this. It's specially creamed. It's raw honey.
Marcel, my jar has my fingerprints in it already.
Yeah, that's right. And this honey comes only from those hives. Let me show them a little bit of the inside.
See, my fingerprints.
Yes.
Okay.
And if we're so bold to say, some of the best tasting honey you'll ever taste.
Yeah.
The
but why
feedback
is it? Why does it taste so good? Because guess what? Everything is about frequency.
Yeah.
We told you that. Mind your own business. Mind your frequency. Do not go around things that are going to bring your vibration down. Exactly. So now you've got the highest frequency honey in the world to heal you.
Nothing else like it. It comes
there
from
isn't.
Right. And we support back to those beekeepers on a fair trade that sends them to the moon. They're financially healthy. They can do the right things by the bees, and we get the best product out. So we work together on that. And it all comes from using frequency, using it to the benefit.
Okay, one
of
second.
Yep,
The person's saying, is this honey GMO? Guys, you're not getting this. Beyond. This is beyond. Forget, the GMO should not even enter into this conversation.
Oh, no.
There's no such thing about this honey. We just said this is the healthiest, okay? This is the healthiest honey in the world. We just said that. So what do you think? It would be GMO? Come on, guys. Try to stay in the positive light here for this conversation. Go ahead.
And on top of that, then after it comes out of the hives, we have a special frequency machine which I developed, which use earth magnets, and then we treat the honey at a distance. We frequencies it, and that then entrains into.
Okay, can you tell them more about the machine though? Because that's quite
the
interesting.
machine is well, where that came from. It was taking the disc that we showed you earlier, the cell. The machine is the mother load of that. It has in 3-dimensional. It has the earth magnets that are put into a sacred geometry shape of the flower of life, and it spins at 6,000 RPMs and dissipates it right out into it and trains into the honey at the highest level. And so that is the end treatment after we've got the honey out of the hives, and that's what you get to ingest into it. And so it is giving you the highest frequency that you can put into your body as a honey product.
Okay. Now there was also a document. Can you grab it? And can you show those pictures that we looked at earlier?
Which one do you want?
All of them. Well, I want to go through this and show you some pictures. Those of you that interest will hang out, and those who won't, yeah, I guess you'll go. You'll buzz off.
You got the machine, Brent? The large machine?
Yeah, I do, but here, let's just show what it looks like.
This is, yeah.
That's what it looks like inside. Is that,
yeah, that's it. You
that
got
good?
it. Yeah,
okay.
That's great.
But again, you remember what you showed them. It doesn't look like that when it just
where is that again? Give it to me. I want you keep
Make a
that
comparison.
there.
Yeah.
And we want to show you. Okay, so that is what the magnets
Actually
look
looks
like.
yeah.
Okay,
This is the energy field.
And then this is the energy
This is the energy field that comes off of those magnets.
That's right.
Okay, so take a look. Okay, everybody got it?
Can you see
there?
That? Yeah.
And here. There we go. We're on all three of them.
Yep.
Okay, and then you can see his. 1 second.
Oh, sorry, it went out on you.
It went out.
Hang on. Let me
so I just really want you to get this, because understand what is physically there. Okay, all right. You are taking a look. This is not physically there. This is the energy, and this would be the healing energy that this creates. All right. Okay. Pretty cool, eh?
See the difference there?
Yeah.
And then, so what we're looking at is, let's get you a picture of this. Oh, we wanted to show you too where we did all the testing. I think.
But can you tell them about the bees? Like, okay, so not only does it protect the bees and none die, but the problem is that the beehives get so full of bees they have to create a whole new beehive because too many bees are being bred now.
Yeah,
correct?
I'm going to show you the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something. When somebody tells you next time, it's the end of the world as we know it, just stay calm, connect to your breath. You know, even when everybody was talking about the bee, and some of my best friends, scientists, were going, once you have this, you're a dead duck. Well, guess what? It's not true. We've already proven it. Okay, let me tell you something. There is a God, there is a creator, and once you stay in a positive light, we will find to neutralize, not just neutralize the negative, we will bring the positive out of that. Let these cycles do whatever they want, and they will help us to use our minds, and we will go further and we will go higher than we've ever gone before.
Well said. So this is actually from the cells being packed in the beekeeper all winter to protect them. And I went to the commercial beekeeper, and here, I'm going to blow this up. You can see what those hives.
Take a look at that.
This is how they looked,
Yeah.
and you can see I think you can see the cell in the bottom there.
There, take a look.
Yeah, and his comment was, not only are they alive, but they're strong as F. Right? He's a typical farmer, right? So and now he has to split them. That was after 4 months in the winter time, right?
Are you getting this? So in the winter time, you should have natural die-off anyways.
Yes.
Now, you're not going to have natural die-off. You're going to have natural duplication of the number of bees throughout the winter that usually they would have died off just naturally, but they didn't. They actually duplicated.
Because the environment was so supportive.
Exactly.
That's right. Everything is energy and everything is frequency. So this is the same thing, guys. Remember what I talk about our cell sonic that we use on humans? 25,000 volts put into the field, and then our cardio med bed that increases circulation better than any other device. So everything is about energy, everything is about frequency. You need to get this, and guess what? No matter, can I say this?
Yep.
Okay, remember when back in 1910, Rockefeller and the Carnegies paid $100 million to have all the schools shut down? Hardly anybody talks about, they didn't just shut down natural health, they shut down energy medicine. They destroyed Tesla, they destroyed Rife,
Yep.
And and guess what? They left Edison alone and Einstein because they weren't trying to make human life better. Get this.
That's right. I just wanted to show them the building that we did all our testing on here. If you can see that up there. So that I built myself to do the testing of the frequency testing. So you can see, and it blocked out all EMFs. It was all done to have an environment that was like nothing else, right? So that shows you where we were doing our research and so forth. But it is like nothing else. The results are nothing short of phenomenal.
Optimal supportive environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I just thought I would show that.
So basically what's happening here, where's that document, Marcel? The one I had? There's a document. Can you please explain what happens when you put contaminated food or any food from the supermarket on this device for 5 minutes? Remember, this device will never break down, but it will last you for 20 years. 20 years this will last. Okay, 20 years. And now maybe could you explain that?
I will. And the 20 years is because magnets, they have a gauze degradation, and this is the highest caliber, so it won't even go down for 20 years. So it will not degrade for 20 years. Yeah, because they're neodymium magnets, which are of the highest caliber, right?
So why would I want to set the food that I buy from the supermarket on this? On this.
So what we did is we went to a specific food lab. It's known as Pathogenia, and it's in Quebec, Canada, and all they do is specialize in testing food. So what we did is we had them go to the grocery store, which you go to, and get chicken, some fish, and some raspberries. And maybe you know or don't know, but the food you're buying out of the grocery store, it has all kinds of pathogens in it, from E. coli to Streptococcus, Listerin. So what we did is they took the food and tested it for all of these microorganisms, which we can get copies for you because we have them. And then they did
all this is going to be on our website.
Right, so that you can study it.
With this product and with the honey, but you're going to have to wait for at least 8 weeks.
Right.
Okay? And only because if we release it now, okay, Brent will get a headache. Because we have to.
Because I got to produce it for you.
Yeah.
So then what we did is, what they did is they tested the food before putting it on the magnet for 5 minutes, and it had all the degrees of what.
Can you show them like the sheet?
If they can see it.
Well, I just want to show you the list.
Just show what the list is.
So, okay, there's the start of it.
Yeah.
These are all the contaminants
Yes.
that were on the food that you buy.
From the grocery store.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Then you wonder why you're burping and farting.
Well, and that's why you think you have indigestion.
Yeah.
You've been slightly food poisoned. So what happens then is after 5 minutes, it was reducing or neutralizing these pathogens by up to 80, 90%. So they listed each one and what it reduced it after 5 minutes. So we'll get you a copy.
So how would that help?
5 minutes.
How would that help you when you buy organic and you spend your money, and to help to bring up the vibratory level of the product and bring down the actual negative microorganisms and the chemicals of the product to help someone that is not feeling well or someone that has an autoimmune disease? I'll leave that with you.
Right. So how would you say that again? What specific?
Well, I'm just trying to say this, that everything is about energy.
Yeah.
And if your body has to deal with any contaminants, then it's utilizing energy.
Yes.
The less contaminants that you are bringing in from the foods that you eat, the more energy you get to keep, the faster the healing.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Yep. It's just like another example, sound canceling headphones. You have a weird sound and you want to block it out, you counter it. That's what we're doing with the food. We're coming in with a proper frequency and we counter, because all pathogens, including everything, COVID, everything, is just a frequency. So we just want to counter that. And that's how we do it.
You need to think about that, guys.
Right.
Okay? So everything is a frequency.
Including
and when there's a negative frequency, there's a positive that will neutralize it
go.
or supersede it
Yep.
and actually create a higher vibrational tissue, bone, whatever it is that it touches, comes in contact with.
Yep. And the secret with it is through geometry, magnetism, math. And when you find these formulas, just like when you have a formula for making a cake, when we get the right formula, The recipe works. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah. So where are you going to go with this? You know where he's going with it? He's helping all these beekeepers save the industry. And remember something, these bees, they do a lot more than make honey. They pollinate.
Absolutely. Our food source to begin with, right?
Hey, listen, do you know how these cycles want to ruin us? Kill the bees, no pollination, no food.
That's it.
So understand something. Brent here, one man's just saved the world. So understand something. Every one of you has genius. Every one of you can contribute.
Yeah,
Every one of you can save the world when you decide to use your imagination. Just think of the imagination that he has to come up with this, okay? This is when you become more than physical matter. This is when your thoughts matter.
So true. And if you want to learn more, 4rbees.com, but that's with the number 4, R, bees, B-E-S, so 4RBs. And you can go on the website, you'll see the hives, you'll see what's going on, what we're doing. So, and to be continued to what we're doing right now.
Yeah, we'll be having Brent come on the show, and we are going to let the world know, again, the good guys win. Thanks for thanks for joining us, all you BraveHeart bees. All you BraveHeart bees. Yeah. You're welcome, my friend. Okay, all right. Teamwork makes the dream work. Never let yourself get down, because when you get down, you're going backwards. Stay in the present moment, own it. There'll always be an answer, okay? And you are a big part of that answer. God bless.
Get busy like the bees.
Get busy like the bees.
Get busy like